New York Comic Con ended yesterday, but we're still feeling its wake. They gave us tons of news. We got first looks, trailers, and tonight Katie reviews the WB Horror Made Here tour, and Kari will tell us about the Haunted Hayride.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's The Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show.
Which actually, that's an appropriate title because do you guys know that registration, like regular registrations,
Yeah.
is
Now.
Yeah, I'm
like
now.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
Like Marty McFly. Oh man, I'm late.
I really know how Jim feels now. Like, he complains that he always messes up on this, and like there's a lot of pressure when all of a sudden you've got to talk to the camera and it's just you and you're trying to read from a page and get the words out.
Yeah.
Well, hello, welcome to the Con Guy Comic Con Prep Show. My name is Derek Sams. I am a contributing writer to the Con Guy. Our editor-in-chief of theconguy.com, Jim Fry, is away on vacation with our
Guy on the couch.
with Luke Cheeseman, who's the guy on the couch, who's usually
Cheese on
here.
the couch.
She's on the
She's
couch.
on the couch.
Cheese on the couch is gone.
So she's on the couch instead of cheese
Yes,
on the
we have
couch.
a she on the couch.
Oh.
But take it away. Who's here?
I'm Katie, and yeah, I'll be talking about WB and a whole bunch of other stuff, and you know, I guess I'm the resident cosplayer at this point, and just all-around nerd. So yeah, happy to be back here.
Jake Thomas, writer, director, all-around movie fan, con fan, comic fan. Always happy to be back, Derek. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Sounds so official.
Thank you.
My name's Carrie Lane. I am a host here at AfterBuzz and Popcorn Talk, as well as a filmmaker. And last week, you can go watch the Scare Guy episode. We had Ladies' Night, and it was all female panel, which was really fun as well. And I'm excited to do a Con Guy one.
Not offended at all that I didn't get to be there.
I was like, we really, but you know, it turned, okay, thanks.
It sounded cool, actually.
Yeah.
Once you have a trend going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just not.
And then
And,
we have a special
Yes,
guest.
introduce your guest.
So this is my friend Sarah, who
Hi.
is a very talented and busy actress. So you can tell us more about what you do in detail.
Yeah, I'm an actress. I do a little bit of producing here and there as well. I'm also just an all-around horror Halloween fan. So this time of year is so busy because there's so much stuff to do. And yeah, go to a bunch of conventions and all that sort of stuff. All-around movie fan, and yeah.
Nice. We're glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Cool. Well, we should probably address the elephant not in the room.
Yes.
Which, yeah, that.
You just
That
called
voice.
an elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
No, but wait,
you
we
know.
should do you can be our other special guest that was on Marvel TV Weekly. No? Okay.
Pause.
He's like, what? No, we did a thing on Marvel TV Weekly.
I didn't get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then because we
wasn't sure
might
we
talk
wanted
about that movie, so
Talk about me.
well,
it's
anyway.
Venom. He was doing a Venom voice on Marvel
Oh,
TV
that's
Weekly.
so cool. See, I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony, just say normal hi.
Hey, everybody.
Well, anyway, as we
Leaf
said,
in the wind.
Luke and Jim are in Florida. They're trying to get back. I haven't heard the latest about Hurricane Michael that's supposed to be coming. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully they're going to beat that. But they will be back next week for the Scare Guy. They're going to be breaking down the Halloween 40 Years of Horror convention, which happens this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, what we're going to talk about tonight, let's start it off with the Haunted Hayride.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us about it. 'Cause
So I went to that as well as Rick, who's a host here at AfterBuzz and Popcorn Talk. He actually dressed up as the Flash for fun to do his
As you
interview.
do.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
And we got to check it out. We also, I'm blanking on.
But now, for those not in the city, the Haunted Hayride's in Griffith
Yes,
Park.
thank you.
What nights do they do it?
It's pretty sure it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
The weekend
Sunday.
nights?
The
Cool.
weekend
Yeah.
nights.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the name. Yes. We talked to Melissa Carbone, who created the Haunted Hayride 10 years ago. So happy anniversary, Haunted Hayride. It's their 10-year anniversary. And they have two mazes and the hayride. The one maze is called Trick or Treat. Is super fun because you actually literally go door to door knocking and you get a trick or a treat. And there is actual real candy too. And that one was super fun because it was very nice to be interactive of literally go to a door. And you're kind of set off in small groups to go through, which is nice too because it's not like a ton of people in line behind you pushing you on. And then it's kind of like, all right, who hasn't knocked? It's your turn. Go to the door. And it was nice. The second time we went through, it was kind of cool to be like letting people know where the door is, because there's a couple moments you're like, wait, oh no, there's a door there because the lighting. And then the other maze, I'm like, wait, what was the name of that one? That one, they used a lot of kind of like a strobe lighting going on. Well, where's my... Oh, I interviewed my friend in front of it because I was like, here... Oh, House of Shadows. That one, it did a really cool effect because it was like an actual maze. Like, there were parts where you weren't sure which way to go, which was cool. And there's a strobe light the entire time. So if you were sensitive to that, just be aware. And then the hayride, which takes you around through different tableaus, which were pretty cool. And there's one... don't want to spoil it, but like my favorite part is something that makes it look like their heads came off. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I posted some of those pictures on Scare Guy, and I think I posted some on the timeline for Horror Movie News, which is also a Popcorn Talk show. So yeah, and I thought it was fun. It's definitely on a smaller scale, so it's not a huge thing. And it was really kind of neat being in Griffith Park at nighttime.
Yeah, and that's a smaller haunt, but it's a pretty popular one around here.
It's very popular. Yeah. I feel it's like it's a cool local, the thing you do every year with your friends kind of vibe. I went with my little brother, and we had never been, so that was a fun experience to go together for that.
How many people on the wagon hayride? I picture the hayrides growing up in Ohio where you could get 20, 30 people on this huge flatbed with bales and songs and cider.
I have a picture of one of the hayride tractors. You all stand into it, listen to instructions. They tell you very simply, they're like, go to the end, do not sit down. And people are sitting down. They're like, do not sit down. So you walk all the way to the end. Everybody then all sits down together. I couldn't say, but yeah, maybe like 20, 30.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a nice group of people at one. Oh, there we go. So you can kind of see on there, that's a decently full amount of people on there.
Yeah. That's much bigger than I pictured. So you get a lot of people at once.
And how long is the actual hayride part?
I didn't necessarily time it, but it's probably like at least a 10 to 15 minute, because you're going, if you've ever gone to Griffith Park, you're starting at the bottom of the hill where that side parking lot is, and then you go up by the old abandoned zoo and make a loop all the way around, which is pretty cool because they actually utilize the abandoned zoo area. So, here's me and Rick. Which is fun. So there's his Flash outfit.
Oh, he's that Flash.
Yeah.
I was picturing like the Flash, like DC Comics.
Oh yeah, no.
I was not picturing Flash Gordon.
That's
great.
Like your Flash.
Yeah.
Yes. He did a great job. This was a cool monster. I also major props though to all the performers. I felt everybody who was like just walking around super into it and really good with their postures and movement and just overall very fun. There's this clown person that we got a picture with, and he was really chill because he had like do you want to see a magic trick? And we're like, okay. So I actually had somebody who's like super double jointed because he put the hand on the table and like rotated his arm all the way around.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, that's cool. And then we saw him again, and it was just like, these random people, but I felt they were really in it.
Is that Clownus character or just a juggalo that joined you on the hayride?
It was a scare actor.
Okay, good.
And then the next is like the quintessential picture in front of like all the pumpkins when you walk up, which is pretty cool. Oh, also free parking, which in LA is like what?
But it's usually hard to find at Griffith Park.
No, they have the whole lots right next to that area open.
Nice.
So yeah. I recommend getting there early, and then also the big tip during our interview was do the mazes first, then the hayride. Because the problem is a whole bunch of people do the hayride, and then that whole drove comes to do the maze. So get there early, do the mazes, and then do the hayride.
Good to know. Cool. And of course, there are other things around town. Granted, these things aren't conventions; they're just fun, fan-related things that are happening around the LA area.
Boney Island is now over at Griffith Park now.
Really?
As I haven't been to it. Have you been over to that?
I have not. I saw it though. You can see
I
it
drove
from the
by
highway.
Yeah. So Boney Island, if you have no idea, used to be at these people's house in Sherman Oaks, and they decorated their front yard like these animatronic, like full-scale decorations. It was amazing. Like people would come in droves and park there, and then that's the problem. There were so many people came, so they moved it. So it's somewhere in the Griffith Park area. I don't know if they charged before. It was when it was their home. It was like a $5 donation thing, like suggested, whatever, or at least it was, if you wanted to. I don't know what it is at Griffith Park, but it's a pretty neat, like just all family. I think that one's pretty full family friendly because it's just like decorated skeletons, not like spooky scary.
I like this viscera spilling out of dummies. Or
yeah, not quite. Like it's more like a skeleton playing the piano or something.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, those are fun. All right, so one of the other haunts in the area, if we can, horror Halloween season related things is the WB tour, which gets a kind of a revamp. in the Halloween season. And Katie and Jake, you guys were both there recently.
We were, yeah.
Correct?
Same night, actually. It's like, oh, hey, hi.
Yep, I saw him like 2 or
That's
3
cool.
times.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the Warner Studios, a lot of people are familiar with Universal Halloween Horror Nights, but the Warner Brothers lot's just down the street from the Universal lot. Like, there's a whole big pocket of it that completely shuts down and gets transformed into this whole area where there's a couple different mazes and also a haunted tour with some scary parts where you step off and walk through a...
it's like Midwest Street, technically, right?
Yes, if you're a fan of a
Cool.
TV show called Gilmore Girls.
I've heard of it.
Imagine
Pretty Little Liars.
Imagine the upside down version of Stars Hollow.
Yeah.
Not to quote Stranger Things.
Yeah,
something
where
like that.
things get redesigned.
Yeah.
Like one that...
Where you walk into the Gilmore's house, but there's
Oops.
Valak from The Nun and The Conjuring 2 jumping out
And
of-
you think you're walking into the church, but no, it's an Exorcist screening.
Oh,
That's right.
yeah.
That's exactly
There's
right.
Reagan.
That's exactly right. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stuff connected. Like
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers, there's a lot of stuff from there because, of course, The Exorcist, The Conjuring movies, The
Yeah.
Shining.
Well, then a lot of stuff that's New Line, which is owned by Warner
Oh
Brothers
yes,
now.
yeah. New Line Cinema, the house that Freddy built, Freddy
Mm-hmm.
Krueger, who gets a shout out out there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going on pretty
A
much.
shout out. Screaming because it's scary.
This
So-
guy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Tell
throughout
us
the month of
about
October.
Well, and I forget, it's the 3rd year, right? Or the 2nd year?
Second year.
It's the second year
right?
they've done
Okay.
the whole festival
But the
thing.
third,
Yeah.
for the 3 years ago, they did just the tour.
That's
Okay,
right,
that's what
yeah.
I thought. I knew it was something for 3 years. But yeah, and so yeah, I went on Saturday, which I think was the second night, right? Yeah. And I went with a whole bunch of friends who work at, with me at work who didn't have to work that night. So we all kind of met up there. And parking was no problem. It's like $15 if any of you guys ever if you're anxious like me about parking, I'm always like reading parking instructions over and over again. But they have you park in like the same lot that if you've ever been to a taping or ever been to WB, it's the same lot, but you enter from gate 8 or 9. Sorry. So you enter from like further down.
It's the one across Forest Lawn.
No, it's on
Or
the same
no?
side as like
Okay.
where the parking lot is, but it's just a little bit before the light, that intersection light.
My bad. Thanks.
They have a sign that says like horror made here, turn here. But yeah, it was $15. So it wasn't too bad. And then it started from 7. We thought it went till midnight. Apparently, it goes till 1 a.m. But
Nice.
I thought it
It
only
goes
went till
late.
midnight.
It
But
goes late, yeah.
Yeah, the nice thing about it was compared to other haunts that have a lot more to do, I liked that you had enough time to do everything. I didn't do VIP. I still managed to do everything, which was really nice. So I didn't feel like, oh man, I needed 2 more hours and I would have been fine. So the longest line was The Conjuring. We waited 2 hours for that. So oh man.
Is it worth it?
Worth it?
Yes, but I don't like the Conjuring universe. I've never watched any of the films, so I was terrified.
The
I think they're quite good.
Conjurers.
So
I think they're quite good.
it's
they're
an
good.
interesting
Yeah.
concept, and I know you'll find out why it's 2 hours when you do it. I don't want to give it away, but
How long are the mazes? Are they pretty quick? Or are
they're
they?
pretty quick.
The Conjuring
But-
one's kind of cool because it's
Yeah.
basically like you're kind of guided through, and it's much more story driven than
Yeah.
your typical
Yeah.
haunt
Ooh,
maze.
nice.
So there's
Okay.
like actors in there talking, and they're like,
Yeah.
describing everything
I
going
will
on.
say
and,
that one plays more off psychological fear. I feel
Okay.
like because you're kind of like,
it's less
what's
jump
going
scares.
to happen?
Except
Yeah.
for the end gag,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic, which
Yeah.
I think is one of the best
Yeah.
gags. Like,
Everybody in my
it's
group was like,
fantastic.
"Oh wow, that
Yeah,
was amazing."
it's
So
really
I
good.
think that it was. The other one would have been The Exorcist. They do an 8-minute screening, which if I had to watch the entire movie like that, I would be crying. Because it's like
Yeah.
it's like a D-box type thing, like where they have effects. In
What's
the theater.
happening on the
Right.
screen starts happening around
Around
you.
you.
And it's in that church.
Oh,
there
that
a lot
sounds
anyways.
so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in the
Sounds
church.
awesome.
It's pretty creepy. So and then I honestly absolutely loved Arkham Asylum.
Cool.
Because I felt like I was in Arkham.
Yeah, it's
And
called. It's
to
a
me-
maze. It's based off the Arkham games.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of
Oh.
those, it's like directly taken from that.
Which I liked it because it's just it was, as someone who's a huge nerd and a huge fan of comic book stuff, I haven't seen something like that in a haunt, and it was just fun to be thrown into that world. Like feeling like, oh wow, this is not where I would want to be in any other situation. But yeah, but honestly, everything was themed so well. Everything to like the buildings where you could eat, the souvenirs, the merch. I went to Fantasia Bar because they have Fantasia from True Blood, and I had to go there because I loved True Blood.
Did you sit in the chair?
I did sit in the
Good.
I sat in
Posted
multiple
pictures.
chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got a cocktail blood bag. That's True Blood. So they had like
Nice.
the cocktails in a blood bag, which is nice because you don't spill your drink. I know that's super weird to say, but yeah, it's also a little bit difficult to drink after it gets to like the bottom. But it's fun if you're a fan of the True Blood. They had like the girls like dancing outside, and like the bouncer was dressed as a vampire, and like all this different stuff. So it was really immersive. And I have to give it one more thing. Sorry, I have to give it up for their studio tour, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Camp Crystal Lake.
That was my favorite thing.
Because
Yeah.
Those woods are terrifying at night.
their competition.
It was so good.
Their competition with the same similar concept, if anybody follows the horror events, is this one had so much set deck, so it really felt like you were at camp and there was a murder on the loose. It wasn't just like actors thrown into what's already existing on the lot. So I like that. I was like, oh, I'm back. Because I used to live in a summer camp, so I was kind of like, oh, this.
Yeah, I went to summer
and
camp all the time
it is a way
too,
kind of secluded, and
Yeah.
it's the jungle set back there where it's designed to not have clear sight lines to other things. So
It was creepy. It was fun.
Funny story, Sarah, you were there Wednesday night?
I was there Wednesday
Yeah,
for
so
the
there was
preview
rain
night.
in the forecast.
There was.
And so they had
Yeah.
the lights off at Crystal Lake because they weren't
Yeah.
sure if they were going to be able to do it, and they forgot to turn them on before they opened it up to people. So you got the scary
We got the scary
of
version.
Crystal Lake.
I also heard that all the scares were not in place yet, so they didn't have all their scare actors in it when we went through. But nonetheless, like it was fantastic. I thought it would. Of
It's
all the haunts
so
I'd done so
isolated
far,
from everywhere else.
It
It's
was
so
It
isolated.
didn't feel like Los Angeles at all. You really felt like you were in camp and in the woods. Like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
Also, it's nice because it's a smaller amount of people. So you have room to walk around. You're not like having to yell if you're trying to talk to someone in line. Like it's a
Right.
smaller event, and I liked that too.
because it's a tour cart full at a time, basically, right? Walking through that part, or
No,
just
like
the Camp Crystal
the
Lake.
main area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall,
Okay.
everything
Overall,
overall.
in
Okay,
all,
right. It's not-
It wasn't like crowded person to person everywhere. Like it felt like more like a carnival or something like that as well. So I liked that.
Plus,
'Cause-
their one little the ride in the middle of
Yeah,
the park.
they do have a ride in
which
the
is
middle.
great. I love those.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna have more about that on the Scare Guys
Yeah,
next
yeah.
week because
Yeah.
Luke
A
and
lot
Jim
of-
are supposed to be going.
A lot of deets.
Yes, so there will be more. In the meantime, something a little bit less scary. In the last, let's see, it was Labor Day weekend, I believe, the new Hogwarts Lego set came out. My wife and I bought it, and it took us a little while to actually get it finished because this thing is so freaking huge, 6,020 pieces.
How long did it take you?
It was 12 separate nights of us working on it.
They can see the
What?
picture now,
Let's see,
right?
I think the picture's up
Yeah,
there now.
it's up. It's
good.
up. But
Damn.
12
So-
different nights?
Yes, well, like
Oh
12,
my
just
lord.
because we had to work around our vacation and our work schedules.
Yeah.
And there, you've got the stained glass windows, which are just the clear pieces with
Oh
the
my
great pieces in front.
Wow.
And it just looks amazing.
On the first night of Hogwarts, my
Are you
true
just
love.
gonna
Yeah,
keep it up
basically.
forever now?
Well, we're gonna
great
have to
hall
probably
for the
build
assembly.
extra shelving.
I was
for
gonna say
our
you're putting this
apartment.
on display, right?
Yeah, right now that is basically taking up our whole dining room table.
Oh my gosh, pull out
And-
the Craggle now
feel
because
like
you
you
do
should
not
just
want that
put
to
it
break.
on,
Well,
like,
we
the
feel
front
we
of your
kind of have
house.
this moral thing inside us against using crazy glue on Lego because of the Lego movie. Yeah. The cool thing was the final night we were working on this was Sunday night, and we had a couple friends. Well, we had several friends over for dinner. Two of which were a couple of people who helped write the song "Everything Is Awesome." These musician friends of ours. We were so excited that they got to do Lego with us, in this epic set.
And they said,
look-
not everything, this, and only this.
yeah.
This is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's cool about this
What's
is
that,
it's
Dagobah?
got so much of the full castle, and it's because of that it's not done to the scale of minifigures. It's what they call microfigures, which are really little tiny pieces, and it's a little hard to differentiate who is who unless you look really closely. But then you've got minifigs of the 4 Hogwarts founders,
Oh, nice.
and then of course you've got just about every memorable location within Hogwarts is somehow represented there.
Oh,
That's
is
a
that the
big
box?
box.
Yeah, this last picture, just to give you a hint of it, my wife decided to try the box on, as if it were like a ghost costume or something. So those of you who are just listening, this is a picture of her just wearing the box, and you can just see her legs sticking out the
This
bottom.
is a great picture, by the way.
Yeah, and
Super
I'm
fun.
not gonna lie, this picture kind of turns me on.
Question.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Yeah.
This set is it's around $400.
Okay.
$399.99. So it's not quite as much as that Millennium Falcon, which is the one we plan to get next when we have an excuse.
Wait, Lego sets cost more than
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
shocked.
Legos are expensive.
Yeah, the
Yeah, they
Millennium
are.
Falcon set is I think around $700.
Get out of town. I'm out of here.
But those are like the
Goodbye.
most expensive sets I've ever seen.
I thought the Death Star set would
How
be more
big-
expensive. But
When
Yeah,
it's
it's-
built, how big is it?
It's
we have a table here. Can you
yeah,
scale
it's
it?
roughly
What we got?
okay.
What
It's
are we looking at?
it goes basically from like
We need a
Jake's
foreshot.
mic to Katie's mic,
Okay.
and at least like from the edge of the table as deep to like right here.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Wow,
those
so
yeah,
big.
and then at least as high as a little bit higher than Jake's hair, the astronomy tower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're
So-
getting some comments. We have a live chat going, so if you're watching this later, no problem. Please comment down below. I know it's kind of a late show. DJ Killa Koala says, "Oh my, that is amazing." Do you have the tracks in the train to Hogwarts? They ask.
No, we
Okay.
don't. Granted, they do have those sets, but they're going to be different scales, of course,
Okay.
too.
And then Nightmares in Fantasy says Harry, Ron, and Hermione would be very proud. That's incredible.
That's all I can say.
They would have done it in one night
By
because
the
they just be,
way-
you know,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, lifting it up and
For
putting things
anybody
together, it'd be
watching or
done.
listening, Derek loves Legos a lot.
Yeah.
His 30th birthday was a Lego theme.
That's true. You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. A whole bunch of like people way too old to appreciate Legos, and
Yeah.
according to some people, we were just playing games, and he got lots of Legos and had a Lego cake. So he loves Legos a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, my wife and I are just glad that we're grown up and we can afford to buy the Lego sets we want.
Now that comment makes sense.
I grew up with Playmobiles, so
Oh yeah.
I had some of those.
right, the other side of the
But speaking of growing up and the passage of
Yes.
time, Katie, can you read the bulletin board for us?
Yeah.
Yes.
How you like that segue?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
So
Really good.
this coming weekend, October 13th and 14th, in Farmingham, Massachusetts. Is that MA?
Yeah, MA Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah, is
I
that-
really need
Stop
to
and think.
learn
Maine's
my.
ME, Michigan's
Yeah.
MI.
Okay, so it's Super Mega Fest Comic Con. That's an awesome name. I feel like it's Super Mega.
You gotta say it with some enthusiasm, though.
Super Mega Fest.
Yes.
But the Super Mega is kind of a funny, the fact that they
Yeah.
use both those words. And then next weekend, October 20th through 21st in Fayetteville, North Carolina, is Fayetteville. I probably am not saying that right. Comic Con. And then
Fayetteville. But if you're at
Fayetteville?
Fort Bragg, you call it Fayetteville.
okay. So then same weekend in Memphis is
I'm sorry, that's where Fort Bragg is.
is Memphis
Sorry.
Comic Expo in Memphis, Tennessee. And then October 26th through 28th, or the weekend before Halloween, is LA Comic Con. And that's in downtown LA.
That's down the street.
Used
It
to
is.
be,
Oh
for
my
people who
gosh.
might not follow the news as much, it used to be Kamikaze, then it was Stanley's LA Comic Con, and now it is LA Comic Con.
LA Comic Con.
So it's the same thing, but different.
Which a number of us will be at, and we'll definitely be talking about it on the
Yes.
Con Guy. One thing I've said before I really like about LA Comic Con is that the main stage is in the exhibit hall, so you don't have like the giant lines just waiting to see all that stuff. The panels are shorter, but they'll have really big names at those panels too. Like I saw an interview with Katie Sackhoff there last year. I saw The Rock there last year. The Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of panel talking about the revival,
nice.
but it was the cast of the original series.
Nice. Also, professional registration is still up online until the 13th.
Wow,
If
that's
anybody's-
great. They're doing
Okay.
pretty late.
So
I-
For this year?
Yeah, for this year.
That's cool.
I got it a couple years ago, but I couldn't go. But if anybody is a professional in the industry, I don't know all the requirements yet. It's not as extensive of a process as San Diego Comic Con, but they do still
Good
have
to
it
know.
available online
I
till
can't imagine.
Saturday.
You could get a
So.
green card before you get registration for San
Yeah,
Diego
basically.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. So yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of a short list right now because
Well,
it's kind of dying
Yeah,
down.
and granted,
Yeah.
there's still stuff happening all the
Yeah.
time,
And more on theconguy.com.
of course.
Yeah. So
But you mentioned registration for LA Comic Con. Now,
Yeah.
San Diego Comic Con,
Yes.
there's
Yeah,
registration
it's
stuff
this-
already happening for next
Yes,
year.
so-
It's the 13th or 14th?
for all
regular.
yeah, 13th
yeah.
at 9 a.m. Pacific time is the returning registration for San Diego Comic Con. So for all those people who are like, I want to go to Comic Con, it's this week is when it's returning registration though is for people who already had badges last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So what you
Yes.
do is you have to go online and have your member ID. And you have to, I don't know how they do it now, but I know that it used to be there was a number on your badge that you had to like have in order to do the returning registration or something, or
then
scan
I
it
would-
or something.
I mean,
yeah.
who would throw away their badge?
Yeah,
but
something-
I would
it
hope
was-
you still have it, that you could find that
But
number.
basically, this is not the one for open registration. This is just for people who've already been, who went
Yeah.
last year. So
Which feels crazy because I'm like, weren't we just there?
usually it's in like February, I think in the past it's been like after the beginning of the
Maybe
year.
they're spreading it out so it's just
Yeah, so
That's possible.
smoother process.
yeah, basically you had to have attended SDCC 2018 as a general attendee.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, like professionals, trade, press, that's a different time. It's not the same thing.
So
Yeah.
it's just general public who are coming
Who
back
are
again.
who are coming back? Yes, and then you can get into the waiting room at 8 a.m. It's a long process. I think we've talked about it before, but
Yes.
basically you want to be online and you have to be on the waiting room before 9 a.m. If you get in after 9 a.m., you will not be able to get it. So, and it's just a little, we call it the wheel of death. It's just continues to go and load and load and load and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's for that. And then you just have to have your member ID, and then after 9 a.m. they'll start randomly sorting you into it so you can purchase it. And they'll give you updates. Like you'll see on the loading screen, it'll still say loading and it'll say waiting for a spot, and it'll say like all the Friday badges are sold out. All the Saturday badges are sold out, and it'll start to give you updates. So it kind of like also crushes your dreams too. But yeah, so yeah, but that's Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's coming
Yeah.
up.
All right. Well, let's see. There's so much nerd news that's happened in the last few weeks, and I don't know that we can cover all of it. Venom just came out, which made like $80 million over the weekend.
Yes, which is crazy. It's number one at the box office, which I think nobody really projected to be that high. We were probably like,
Yeah.
it'll be around the 40s amount. No, and then it was getting so much hate online, which haters gonna hate,
It's true.
because it was super fun. I saw
That's what I've
it.
heard. I've heard it's fun.
It's very fun.
You've seen it. Have you seen it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you
Tony
seen it?
saw
No,
it.
I haven't seen you.
Tony, you want to
What
weigh
did
in?
Tony think?
We saw it.
Okay.
Yay!
Tony and his parasites.
It was.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me quiet him down.
Symbiote.
Is that your?
Yeah.
My Venom. I'm sorry.
Tom
Yeah.
Hardy did the voice for Venom, which is kind of cool as well, because he
Oh.
talks to himself essentially.
That's
Then.
pretty great.
It's very fun knowing that.
Gotta respect
did you get
that.
to see Venom yet, Sarah?
I have not.
Okay. Yeah, my only thing going in is the big thing people are quote unquote complaining about is it has more of an early 2000s superhero movie vibe. So the style of the movie, the style of the effects, kind of, and the just tone.
Oh no! God forbid it. It's reminiscent of Iron Man, one of the best films in the
Right?
No,
Yeah.
she said
God.
early 2000s.
Early 2000s. So I
she's
was thinking
talking
like Tobey
Like
Maguire,
2008.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Which
X-Men.
we
Yeah.
loved those when they came out,
Yeah.
so hold your horses,
Hulk.
everybody. But I think the thing is we've all been conditioned to the more present superhero movies, which are a little more grounded and realistic. So this is just like, nope, we're going on a fun, crazy, wild ride and just
Yeah.
go with it, and it's fun. Like there's, I don't,
Yeah.
haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
I didn't see
That's
it.
fine.
I saw Stars Born instead.
I haven't seen that
I
yet either.
saw
I'm seeing that
Hellfest
tomorrow.
instead.
I saw Hellfest, but
I
you
saw
liked Hellfest,
Smallfoot.
yes.
Highly
over the
recommend
weekend,
Stars
so,
Born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Hellfest, Sarah?
I did not see Hellfest or Stars Born. They're all on my list. I've had no time to go to the movies. There's too much Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's true.
All
Let's
the
see.
summer stuff's creeping
If
over.
I'm afraid if we get into
Yeah.
some of these news,
Yeah.
news items, it's going to take us a long time. Should we go ahead and talk about New York Comic Con?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk
It
about
was
that.
just wrapped up yesterday. None of us were there, of course. We're kind of stuck on the West Coast, but
It's a drive.
Right.
It's a
Little
drive.
bit.
You'll have to
although
forgive us.
one of my friends from out here, Jennifer Hall, went out there. She's been posting pictures online. She told me some of her favorite moments. The Harry Potter and the Cursed Child panel.
Nice.
She said was great because that's open in New York now, and they were all talking about how they first got into Harry Potter themselves.
Oh, nice.
And then she said,
Is this the London cast or is this American actors?
you know, I don't know if the act. I'm guessing.
That's a good
I would
question.
hope that they've got
remember.
English actors, but I haven't looked that up.
Okay.
That's the sort of thing
That's-
I ought to know as a serious Harry Potter fan, but I was busy building my own Hogwarts.
Laura, is it American actors or is it the West London cast?
See,
Tight.
another thing she said she loved was DC's Titans, which is the thing that's on the DC Universe streaming service. She said, which we've all seen some of the footage from it that they've put
That's
out
the
in little
younger
trailers.
group of them.
Batman.
Yes, it's
I
like
think it looks cool.
I think it looks
know there's
cool.
that people
some
are
people
also
don't like
hating
it.
on that
Yeah.
so much, and some of it is semi-racially charged. But I do agree that her costume,
Starfire?
yes, that's the main one people are picking on. Like literally, if you go through the trailer on YouTube, like that's the main people. But I do agree that they've kind of given her this big fur coat, and I'm like, it does look kind of awkward because they're saying it looks like semi-hooker-ish, and you're like. Well, that's not a horrible because the costume. You're like, what'd you give her? But it looks. I'm not a huge DC fan, so I don't know anything about it. But it looks
Right.
cool. I'd watch.
Yeah, and the trailer looks interesting, and the fact that it's a little bit darker and edgier than like what we've had before have been Teen Titans cartoons geared for younger audiences. So it's interesting. But also during New York Comic Con, there were some other things from DC Universe that were revealed. With a new Harley Quinn cartoon.
Have you guys seen that little like trailer from it?
No, I haven't watched it.
Oh, so
there are a
good.
crap ton of trailers though.
I have a lot of trailers I
Yeah.
need to watch.
It looks
The
really
list of
good. It's
trailers.
very edgy, very aware of itself and like what DC has been doing in the past, and they poke fun of it. And it's like there's a joke that Harley Quinn says how like our show's actually happening unlike the Deadpool that was supposed to happen on FX,
Oh.
unlike the Deadpool show. So they dig at Marvel too, which I thought was great, but they also dig at themselves, which is
Okay.
awesome.
Is
Nice.
Red Tool? Did he show up on it? Because that's a
No,
character.
it was
That's a
only-
character from the New 52 that I thought was really funny.
It was only Poison in the little trailer. It was only Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn in a cell block in a cell, and then Batman appears behind them. It's like
Okay.
less than a minute. Yeah.
Okay,
It's pretty
yeah.
great though.
Now, if it's anything like the New 52 Harley, or no, I'm sorry, the Rebirth Harley have been really fun. The Rebirth Harley Quinn comics have been really fun and really meta.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's like those are just some of the many trailers
Yes,
that were
yes.
revealed.
There's a lot.
There was footage from Hellboy, the new Hellboy with David Harbour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can you find that one? I was trying to find that one. Just
You know,
so
I
could
didn't
see
find
it.
the actual
Posted
footage myself.
pictures online.
Yeah, I
Pictures,
only
but
saw
the actual-
pictures.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, all right,
Aquaman.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, there was an extended trailer for
Which
Aquaman,
I have
extra
not
footage.
seen yet, but all my friends were like really excited after this trailer. I guess like a lot of my friends are kind of like, it's gonna suck. Like most of them think it's gonna suck, and they saw
Well-
the trailer and they're like, this makes me a little more excited about it. But I have not yet seen it yet.
Good. I like James Wan.
Dragon Ball
Mm-hmm.
trailer came out, right?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Yeah, that came out. I heard a lot of hype about that.
Good Omens, which I haven't seen that trailer yet, but I'm a huge Neil Gaiman fan.
I did watch that one. That one, I'm not familiar with the book.
and I
but
love those actors.
Yes,
David
David
Tennant's in it,
Tennant's
right?
great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
Michael
one of
Sheen.
his books that I haven't read, but I've got high hopes for that. And of course, the Discovery Season 2 trailer.
Yes.
We got
Yeah.
a look at the young Spock, which he's got a beard, and that's weird to me because that's Mirror Universe Spock that has a goatee, and I'm like, can we trust him?
Daredevil.
that might play into it.
Daredevil season 3.
Daredevil season 3.
Haven't seen that
Yeah.
trailer yet either because I just finished season 2. But
The one that
Lots of
stuck
stuff.
out, the one that stuck out to me very much was the Gotham final season trailer.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
And just because watching, I was like, wow, this looks expensive.
Oh yeah.
They don't care about saving money anymore. It's like we've done years of people talking in rooms. You know what? That train's on fire. That building's blowing up. It's a bunch of people shooting down.
Are we supposed to see like there was some announcement related to it, like Bruce Wayne, like really?
They're like jumping 10 years in the future for the last episode or something
Okay.
like that.
what
They
season
said
is
this.
it?
This is not spoiler. It's the last one.
How
so this
many
is
have they had?
Season 5.
Okay,
Season 5, yeah. But it looks like they're just, you know what? Everything.
That sounds
everything
like a
having
good
to go.
idea, though.
You want No
Go
Man's
out-
Land? You got No Man's
Go
Land.
out
You want any
west,
of that?
please.
Take it.
Why not?
Exactly.
Like
Take
I
the
like
last
it
one.
when a show knows, or that when showrunners at least know that it's going to be the last season, and they can do the stuff they've wanted to do, and they can finish
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah, they've got Joel
Yeah.
Schumacher thugs show up in glow paint.
Oh.
They got like it's crazy. It's
So-
just like, is this the show? Is this-
What you're saying is they literally burnt their set down.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. You're like, we don't need this.
They're like, we'll just light it on
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
Cameron, you want to light it?
Nice.
Go ahead. Anyway, I was just like, wow, that's a lot that's pretty big for a show.
Yeah.
Big for a show.
Apparently, there was a big moments in the Walking Dead panel too, because that was Andrew Lincoln who plays Rick. It's
last
already
one.
been announced that it's going to be his last season.
Yeah.
So he was saying goodbye.
Yeah, and then they did announce they were going to bring. They had some of the other actors coming back, actors that had died previously, which we can only guess it's probably some Vision thing.
It says
yeah.
that Scott Wilson is coming back, and he just died.
He did, but I think they had already filmed.
Yeah, no, I
and
know,
it
but
was
I'm
just
saying
kept
that's
under
going to be
wraps.
kind of a.
It's going to be
Bittersweet.
It's going to be emotional. Yeah,
Oh wait, John Bernthal is returning to Walking Dead.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's what it said. Yeah, Sonequa Martin Green, John Bernthal. Yeah. Does anybody else catch any news items that?
Well, I think you guys have heard me talk about it on the show before, but I love Riverdale. I'm like guilty
yeah.
pleasure. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
They
Parents.
announced that they are having Jughead's mother and his sister in this next season. So Gina Gershon, I think that's how you say her name, is playing his mother, and then an actress called Trinity Lickens, probably didn't say that right, is playing Jellybean, his sister, and they're going to be in the December 12th episode. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic because we haven't met the rest of the Jones family yet. So I'm excited. That show debuts this week. Their season premieres this week. I don't remember what day. It's either tomorrow or Wednesday, I think, but I can't remember. And I'm really mad that I can't remember at the moment. But it's definitely this week because all the WB circuit is starting this week and next week. For all you people who followed us. Sorry, I said WB. Y'all know what I meant, though.
The CW.
CW.
Yeah.
So
That's close.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in the early 2000s again.
So
Daredevil season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Poindexter. Throwing billy clubs at people. Hitting them in the head. Looks great. I forgot sentences.
Yeah, it is supposed to get darker this season or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
back in
I've heard
black,
that.
which would kind of make sense after Defenders, and no one's safe. Kingpin's out. Fisk is coming back with a vengeance. My friend and I were talking about this yesterday, and it's like, oh, it looks like Born Again, but with Bullseye.
Yeah, I was
instead
about
of,
to say.
Yeah,
They are.
which he
being-
recommended. I read Born Again; it was really good.
Yeah, it's influenced by the Born Again run.
Yeah. Sarah, have you heard any New York Comic Con news from any of your friends who were able to go?
I don't know anyone that actually made it out there.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly, like you would think, like because I came from the East Coast, that some people would go, but most people I know go to like there's like a Rhode Island Comic Con and there's like Massachusetts specific conventions, and so people just go to that. They don't bother making the trip down to New York. So
I would like to make that pilgrimage once. I'm like, I'm gonna go to that one.
Yeah,
It seems
to
really
New York
cool
Comic
and very
Con.
popular.
And it's grown a lot.
And Dragon Con. There we go. That's
oh
the
my
other big
God,
one.
yes, let's go to Dragon Con. I'm totally down for that.
Did anyone see? I saw this a lot of places when they posted like the best cosplay from New York, and it was the guy. It was a
little
Bat Joker. Did you ever see this photo of this guy's costume? It's like the Heath Ledger makeup, hair, and his. It's the Dark Knight armored, spray painted purple, greenish, white.
Interesting.
It's really cool, but this guy looks dead ringer for the late Heath Ledger. Like so much like him. It's insane. I thought it was a really good he did it perfectly. Like every little crevice in the every crack in the white makeup was like dead on. It's like
Nice.
really good. And you're like, oh, I've seen that a bunch of times, but no, this guy looked really good.
I think Crazy for Comic Con or Hero Within on Twitter posted, or it's been going around. There was a group of female cosplayers who they all have hijabs and they all dressed in cosplay and they look amazing. Oh, wow. They look so good. It's like a whole group and they incorporate the color of it into the outfit and everything. So that's going around on Twitter.
What a neat
of
idea.
New York Comic Con. Yeah. There's some girl on Instagram I saw and she incorporates it into like Disney characters or just doing makeup too. So it was neat to see a whole group of that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
was like Shazam or something there? Because I was on Zachary Levi's Instagram and he was like had a lot of stuff, or was he just there doing other stuff? Do you guys know? Because I didn't actually see what he was there for, but I just saw he was like having fun at New York Comic Con, and it's
That's
always
hard to
a
say
joy
because I
to
don't
see
know
him.
about the panel
Yeah.
or anything for Shazam, but
Yeah.
knowing Zachary Levi, maybe.
Yeah, I mean there may
He
have
could have just been there for fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I doubt that DC movies would have missed the
Yeah.
opportunity to plug it.
Yeah.
Do we know if anyone came forward and confessed that they were walking the floor in disguise, as famous people tend to do?
Haven't heard anything. I love
Okay.
those stories though.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston wearing a Walter White mask, that sort of thing. I guess it's easier in San Diego, but there's a lot of New York-based celebs. Might try it out. Post your pics.
Let's see.
do
There were a few premieres. Let's see. Fox did a 2-hour session at the AMC Theater, devoted to equally to X-Men outing Dark Phoenix and the James Cameron produced, Rodriguez directed Alita Battle Angel. So apparently there was a whole lot of stuff for that.
Which every time I read that, I'm like, you put the words in the wrong order. Because it's supposed to be Battle Angel Alita.
Yeah. Well,
But I
I
get
guess-
it. Fine, change it.
maybe they wanted to pop higher up when you search for things on
Yeah, right.
online. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting a little more excited too because at the Venom trailer or
What
at the
movie
Venom
should I see this weekend? Let's go alphabetically.
Hey, there might be those people. At the Venom screening I was at, they had a trailer for that, for Battle Angel. And I had a bunch of young people behind me, and they were all like, oh, and they're getting really excited about it. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm getting more excited, too, hearing your enthusiasm. Because I read the graphic novels. I'm a little bit like, we'll see.
Brad
But it
said
looks cool.
that Roswell premiered there.
oh, the new Roswell.
Yeah, their pilot at NYCC. Also.
Yeah, which they've kind of they haven't completely reimagined it. It's almost like continuing the other one, but years later with a new generation almost. right? And I think Brad was telling us also they had a 20th anniversary Charmed.
They
Yesterday,
did.
yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also
Nice.
talking about the new show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
So
Should be interesting. Cool. Well, we are
There's a
almost-
lot of
Which-
people who
Almost out
are
of time.
promoting that we all go on separate.
Yeah, they're like road trip.
trips. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, I was gonna say we're at the kind of towards the end, but Sarah, any particular Halloween events that you've gone to that you would want to give a shout out to that you thoroughly enjoyed, and what projects are you working on or stuff that people should check
Sure.
out?
So far, I really enjoyed WB Horror Made Here. That was one of my top ones. I always really loved Dark Harbor at Queen Mary because it just feels like a carnival. And then Creep LA is really great. I'm doing Delusion this week, so I haven't done it yet, but Delusions is always amazing. It's always one of my top ones. So yeah, I would say those are probably my shout outs. As far as stuff I'm working on, I've actually been stepping away from horror a little bit. So I'm doing a drama in Vegas in 2 weeks. It's like a modern day retelling of Romeo and Juliet across socioeconomic and race lines. So young white trash girl falls in love with affluent black family's son. So a little bit different. And then hopefully, if I didn't get cut out of it, we'll see. I'm probably going to be in a film that's being distributed by Lionsgate coming out in February called American Exit. So I was in a couple scenes. You never know what happens. That's why I'm
True.
saying, like, you never know. Hopefully, I'm still in it. But yeah, we'll see when that ends up coming out. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Awesome. Well, we never have enough time to actually talk about all the things we want to.
This is
But
true.
but real quick, where can people find you? Starting. Let's see. Oh,
Starting with me.
Sarah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Tell us where people can find you, where they
I'm
can track your
everywhere.
stuff.
Instagram, Twitter. So Sarah Nicklin on all of those things. Facebook, sarahnicklin.com has. I've tried to create a catalog of pretty much all of my films on there, so you can go stream them everywhere. Because that's always the common question: is where
That-
can I see your stuff?
More actors
I'm
need to do
like,
that.
Yeah,
That is
right?
brilliant.
I'm like, because then you're promoting the film, which is good for the filmmakers, and it's also good for your fans, because it's like, here is where you can go see everything. Done.
Nice.
Like, so yeah, that's where I would send people everything all in one place.
Awesome. That's sarahnicklin.com.
Yes.
Niklin.
Nickllin.
Niklin.
Like the coin, but with
IN.
an IN.
Got it.
okay.
I'm glad I
Yeah,
asked.
gotcha.
Okay, Kari, where
Nice.
can we find you?
And actually, real quick before I get mine, someone in the chat made a quick question for everyone on the panel. Has everybody
Yes.
seen the new Joker look?
Yeah.
Yes.
Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix.
The Joaquin Phoenix.
Thumbs
look,
up,
yeah.
thumbs down.
Yeah,
in the middle.
exactly. I'm like this.
It could go
Like,
either way.
I
Yes.
like Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm liking it.
I'm not
but
sure how I feel
yeah.
about the idea of this movie.
Wait, which
At all, but-
version
Joaquin
of this?
Phoenix.
Which version of the clown? I've seen so many.
I
of
saw
them.
the one where he's on like the subway.
I've seen the one where
In general, how's
Oh,
that? Because
I've also
I
he had like a
freaking love
curly
it.
wig
Okay,
and big
yeah.
floppy shoes. and
Tony
all that.
freaking loves
Tony
it.
loves
I love
it.
it
All right.
so much. My God. I
I'm
can't
very
wait.
curious. Yeah.
I think I'm more like it's too early to like decide what I think about it. It wasn't like the initial like Jared Leto like that reaction.
that.
Like it wasn't as dramatic
yeah.
as that reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it could go either way.
My opinion is that I refuse to have one.
I'm
Fair
all
enough.
In. I am all in
Yeah.
for this movie.
But good question.
DJ Koala says the red nose is weird. Well, we talk about it on Horror Movie News on Popcorn Talk, which give that show a plug. A couple episodes. It's in our. If you go look it up, it's in our tagline.
It's
And
actually
we
one of
talked about it.
our most recent episodes. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, which Tony is a part of as well. And yeah, you can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. Also on the Scare Guy, I went to the Queen Mary, which I loved it this year. Oh my goodness, I was
I
like,
did
this
too.
another level, like interactive mazes, like going over stuff, actually choosing different directions, and the maze is actually different in different segments. Also secret bars, and you can find all those videos I did on the Scare Guy, which I'm like, it's not this one because that's the other one. But yeah, on the Scare Guy, I did those videos, and yes, other shows, which if you like horror movie news, as well as Marvel TV Weekly over on AfterBuzz, Box Office Breakdown on Popcorn Talk, where we talk about what movies came out over the weekend, and we talk more in depth about Venom as well.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at JT Hummus, Instagram JT Hummus, and all good stuff. And yeah, all that good stuff.
You can find me on Instagram at Katie's Fairy Tale. That's where I post like all my cosplay stuff most specifically. But there is also a link. If you click on the link in that thing, it has links to the Scare Guy and the Con Guy, and as well as like my coffee account if anybody wants to help me fund my cosplays. So yeah.
Awesome. Again, I'm Derek Sams. You can find me on Twitter at ConGuyDerek. And remember, returning registration for San Diego Comic-Con is this Saturday. Be sure to keep an eye on theconguide.com for all your convention news. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.